Mocktober has finally come to an end, unfortunately, at least for this year. We'll bring it back next year. So now it's time to decide which mock toe reigns supreme and is the overall winner and the best mock toe out there. I'm really excited for this video, not only because we're choosing the best mock toe, but also two of my favorite channels that are a huge resource for me when I'm planning videos. Trenton and Heath and Stridewise are gonna give their pick on which mock toe they think is best. So I put links to their channel in the description, so do me a huge favor and go subscribe to their channels because they spent the time to record themselves and watch through my videos and choose the mock toe they think is best, so a great way to thank them is go subscribe to their channel. Now let's go over all the boots that are in this series with no particular order. The Red Wings, Danners, Carhartts, Thursday, Thorogoods, Toaster's not a boot, Whites, and Rock Roosters on the end with no room for their box. So now let's take 5 seconds to go through the pros and cons of each of these boots, just in case you didn't watch all the videos or you need a recap and you don't want to spend 2 hours watching all these videos. So starting with the Red Wings. The Red Wings are the iconic mock toe and they're really well built, but they're a pain to break in. Danners, really lightweight work boot that a lot of people love, but that fabric liner, I do not like that. But they just came out with a really cool boot that I would like to get my hands on and cut apart and review. So I'm trying to get Danners to sponsor this video of this boot. Carhartt, threw a lot of shade at Carhartt, but to their credit, they reached out to me right after that video with a surprisingly positive attitude, and I've been talking with them. So interesting stuff might be coming up with Carhartt. Thursday, so this is the only boot that doesn't have that big fat clown toe looking toe, and it's got really great arch support, but it's a thinner leather that might not be as durable. Thorogood, so these are super comfortable right off the bat, almost no break-in period, but a lot of man-made materials on the inside. Whites ended up being kind of the dark horse of this race with a super thick upper, classic Pacific Northwest construction, but it's got that cardboard counter that raises a few questions. And finally, Rock Rooster, the cheapest boot on here and the cheapest materials. You get what you pay for when it comes to boots for the most part. Now to kind of narrow the field down, there was really 4 boots that stood out as kind of the top dogs or the top horses in this race. Thursday, Thorogood, Whites, and Red Wings. So let's get all these removed. Sorry, Toasty. Now that we got the field narrowed down to these 4 boots, I honestly think that you could choose any one of these boots as the overall winner of the series, depending on what you need out of a boot and what you like in a boot. And so I'm cutting this video up into 2 parts. The next part is gonna be a layer by layer breakdown of each of these 4 boots, and just kind of a way to help you decide between these 4 boots which ones works best for you. Because spoiler alert, me, Trenton and Heath, and Stridewise all chose independently a different boot for the winner of the series. So let's start off the award ceremony with Trenton and Heath's pick, the cobbler pick, and I really wanted to get their opinion on this series because I almost exclusively work with boots at the beginning of their life cycle, before they're broken in, before they're worn, and Trenton and Heath, they work with boots at the end of their life cycle when they're in need of a rebuild and a resole. And so that opinion is really valuable for the longevity of the boots and what a cobbler values most in a boot. So let's start it off and let's hear what Trenton and Heath have to say.
Hey guys, we are Trenton and Heath and we are shoe cobblers. We have worked on hundreds and hundreds of boots over the years. But full disclosure, there are a couple of boots on this list that we have not yet had the chance to work on. One of those being Carhartt, the other being Rock Rooster, and we have worked on a lot of Whites, but we have not worked on their newest one, the Perry. But again, that's because it just came out.
So the criteria that we use when we are judging these boots are from our own experience over the years of just cutting open boots and repairing them, but we also are pulling a lot of information from the cut opens thanks to Weston's videos, which are great. And the 3 criteria that we usually look at are upper construction, the sole component construction, and then repairability. Repairability is very big to us as we are cobblers. One of the things that we recognized in all of these boots were the use of synthetic materials. Some were scattered throughout the entire boots, internally, externally, and some of them were just certain little components, but they did use they all did use some form of synthetic in it. Now, I'm not a big fan of synthetic materials, just personally.
Synthetic materials have their time and their place. For some of these boots, there was a lot of synthetic material used in them. Rock Rooster, Thursday boots, as you can see here, when you take out the inner liner, there's a lot of synthetic material in there. Even the Thorogood, has some synthetic material just in the insole and the liner. So those are all things you have to keep in mind because they do tend to wear out very quickly, and repairing those can be an absolute beast. So when it comes to repairing shoes, what we really look at is how much natural materials are in there. And as Heath and I've always said, the more natural materials you can use, generally the higher quality the boot is going to be.
With the exception of soles.
Correct, yeah.
The natural materials, leather, is going to wear out faster than a good
Synthetic.
rubber synthetic sole.
Very
But
true.
based on all of this, what we would say is probably the best out of this category is going to be Red Wings. Now, I would like to say I'm going to put whites up there because we've worked on a lot of whites before, and they're fantastic boots. But since this particular model, the Perry, is so new, I haven't got my hands on it, so I can't give it a fair judgment. But I have worked on a lot of Red Wings, and that's why we're going to put those at the top.
Yeah, guys, we really scoured through the reviews that Weston did. We pulled from the information that all the boots that we've worked on, and like Heath said, you know, Red Wings just been around for a long, long time. I know some of these other brands have as well, but whatever they're doing to the mock toe, it's working. It's been around for generations, and believe it or not, before this series even came out, I was in the market and still am in the market for a pair of mock toes myself that I want to wear here to work every day since I'm on my feet. And the boot that I've decided to go out myself and buy is going to be the Red Wing mock toe. So yeah, I hope that helps you guys. Back to Weston.
Thanks again to Trenton and Heath for doing the Cobbler's Pick, and this isn't sponsored by them in any way, but they are doing 10% off of their boot and shoe care products off their website with the code MOCKTOBER. I'll put a link to that in the description. And they just posted a resole video of the Thorogoods yesterday that's really cool, you guys should check out. And earlier this month they did a resole of Red Wings, so I'll put those in the description as well. Now it's time for the Stridewise pick, and Nick at Stridewise kind of fills in the other gap that my channel has where I don't get a lot of time to actually spend wearing these boots. And he's worn these 3 pairs of boots for an extended period of time and has a more informed opinion of how these boots actually wear over time, the comfort and the style of them. So now it's time for the Stridewise pick.
G'day guys, this is Nick at stridewise.com in New York City, and I had a really tough time deciding on my favorite mock toes because my very first pair of Goodyear welted boots were these Red Wing 8890s here. Yes, they really need a resole, and but they've served me very well throughout the years. But I think they've been dethroned by my Diplomat boots from Thursday Boot Company. Partly because they did something I didn't think you could do with a mock toe, which is they made a non-chunky mock toe. Like compared to my Red Wings and my Thorogoods and every other mock toe out there basically, like it's informal, but it's not really wide and flat and chunky. It's like a more kind of refined mock toe, which I never thought I'd find. Also, unlike the Red Wing, this had no break-in. It's fully lined with leather. Also, it's got speed hooks, so it's easy to get on and off. It has shock absorbing foam in the insole for like a slightly more sneaker-like sensation. It's got a tough Vibram Christie sole as well. The laces happen to be made of Kevlar, and also it has a shank. Red Wing doesn't have any of that stuff, but the lack of shank probably surprised you. So the arch support is actually very good with the Diplomat right out of the gate, like from the first wear. Red Wing molds the shape of your arch over time, like over months and months, but the Thursdays are good to go from day one, and the look is cool as hell. So I think the Diplomats, those are my favorite mock toes right now.
And thanks to Nick at Stridewise for doing the Stridewise pick. I'll put a link to his channel and his website in the description so you guys can go subscribe to him and read some of his articles. And he's got a really cool article that's called 11 Ways to Save Money on Boots that you can get for free by signing up to his newsletter. And once again, not sponsored, but you guys, if you're watching this video, you're just as obsessed with boots as we are, and it's a really interesting read. So check that out. And now it's time for my pick. And now it's time to pick the overall winner of the series, the best mock toe boot in my opinion. And like I said earlier, you could choose any one of these 4 boots as the winner and be rightly justified. But for me, there's 3 requirements or 3 things I consider when choosing the winner of the series. The first one is I need a boot that I can wear long days in the shop on the hard concrete, that I can wear on the farm or I can wear out in the forest, and it's gonna be a durable, comfortable boot. Number 2, once I'm done working, I want a boot that cleans up really nicely that I can wear casually and not look like I'm wearing farm boots. Number 3, I want a boot that's gonna last through several resoles, that has that durability, that's not gonna give out on me, and even a boot that I can resole at home or at the shop because of how easy these boots are to resole. So it came down to 2 boots, the Red Wings and the whites, and it was razor thin. I had a really hard time deciding which boot I would choose as the winner, and I chose before I knew what Nick at Stridewise and Trenton and Heath decided, so that had no sway on it. But I think the boot that balances everything best and this is the most durable and comfortable and just balances my needs best is White's Perry Mock Toe boot. And I chose it because it's got the thickest leather, it's got a leather insole, it's fairly easy to break in. The outsole balances the comfort of the rubber outsoles and the longevity and the durability of the Thorogoods outsoles. It's got a shank for when you're climbing on ladders and doing some more heavy work. And it's got that Pacific Northwest classic work boot style with the external counter and the counter cover. That's why I chose this boot, and that's why I think it's the winner of the Mocktober series. Let me know what you guys think is the winner. And clearly me, Stridewise, and Trenton and Heath all chose different boots. So let me know what you guys think is the winner. I'm really interested to see what you guys think is best and which you would choose. I'll put links to buy all these boots in the description. And thank you guys for supporting this series. It was a really fun series. It's my favorite series to date. And thanks again to Trenton and Heath and Stridewise for helping out with this video. It was really fun working with them. I love those guys. And check out all their links in the description. And turns out I've got coronavirus. It came at the worst time. But we got this video done, and I ended up, I'm gonna split this video into 2 portions because when I was filming this, I went through all the details of these 4 boots, breaking down layer by layer and what it all meant and how to help you decide. But I decided to take it out of this video because it would have been like a half an hour video, and I wanted to condense it and separate it in 2 videos. So it'll probably come out Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how bad I actually have coronavirus. So far, I'm not horrible. And then gym greens are coming up. So this video will be out Thursday, unless I have coronavirus worse than I think. But yeah, look out for those videos, and thanks for everything you guys do. See ya. Toaster apparently loves the Carhartt and Danners. No, they have to come off. They're not in the top 4.